3 ideas, but fast. Okay, number 1 is live into God's glory. So Christ gave everything for us, his life, his life and his death. And he calls us to give every aspect of our lives back to him. And so I challenge you guys to search for ways to give everything you have to God and live into his glory. And then number 2 is be authentic with everyone around you. If you're authentic with your peers, you're going to find healing, you're going to find grace, you're going to find love, you're going to find acceptance and growth. And without that authenticity, your life is going to be a lot less meaningful and rich. And then number 3 is love liberally and with great abandon. So what I found is that we don't know the masks that everybody hides behind. And so it's important that we love everyone equally and love as Christ's ambassador, kind of, bye.
Faith to help other people, and like when you're helping others and there are other people around you, like you make friends with them and they're lasting friendships and they're good.
What Taylor said was totally true, and you should totally listen to. One thing I want to add is throughout high school I've learned that faith just takes a big leap. You need to just trust in God and really just take that step forward. And it honestly, everything just is paved out for you as you're walking along. I mean, it's going to be hardships. There's going to be times where you're just like, I want to do this, I want to take this step, but just pray about it. Really trust in God that he will have your back at all times and go for it, because some of the best things that I've had throughout high school have been just on going out on a limb on faith, and it's just amazing. So.
For me, what I've learned is that God has a plan for you, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what you're thinking at the time, success, failure, anything that's going on. He always has a plan for you. So just keep going, because eventually, when you look back, you kind of see everything, kind of all of a sudden, it'll all make sense. But going through it, it won't be so fun every now and then. So just keep going, and you'll find out that at the end, he had a plan for you.
What I learned over my faith journey is that God loves you more than you can imagine. And like his love is so much more intense than any other love that's imaginable. And that your friends that you journey through with to Christ will be able to show you that love, and just really invest in God, be able to receive his full love and experience love in its true sense.
So what I learned is that as long as you're really true to yourself and you're open to other people around you, you'll be able to go into almost any community and be accepted by everybody and gain a whole bunch of new friendships that you would otherwise not have gained, and it's just really nice being able to do that and being open.
Something that I've learned through my years here is taking your relationship with Christ personally, and that your relationship with God isn't something that you just do at church. It's not something that we all have together. It's you need to take it as your own, so that you know who Christ is. One of the things also that I feel like we say a lot, but we sometimes don't understand, is that God is always with you. And it's easy to say, oh yeah, God's with me when you're feeling good, or when you're at church, when you're surrounded by your friends, everything's great, God's great, he's here right now. But when things suck, it's not as easy to say. And God is so much more than just a feeling. God isn't just this guy who hands you oh, here's a gift, go be happy about yourself. He's so much more than that, and he wants so much more of you to give up, and he wants you to know him more and more. So just always strive to know God and know him personally.
Isaiah 55:8 said in that verse, God says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways." Quick show of hands, who here has had a prayer answered by God? Who here has had prayed a prayer and has waited a long time and God did not answer? Who here has prayed a prayer and God has answered it the exact opposite and done the exact opposite? Think about that. Think about when you're praying something and all of a sudden God does the exact opposite thing. I remember kneeling at the bedside praying for the person in front of me to be healed of the cancer. And that prayer just gets turned around completely and it takes over. That kind of moment is when my thoughts are not in line with God's thoughts. My ways are not in line with God's ways. And it only takes that radical faith, because we live in a really safe community right now. We live in a community with all these friends here, with all these family and all these people. And sometimes life just takes you and shakes you around and makes you think, what the hell is going on? And makes you put your faith in God, knowing that his thoughts are greater. And that's the only thing you can take.
I've lived in China for 16 years, and it's true I made a lot of friends, but those friends are not my real friends. Who sees my profile, like if I have money, they become my friends. If I don't have anything, they will leave me alone. So that kind of made me a person who doesn't really like open up to people. And I don't really have a religious before I came to America. When I first came to America 2 years ago, then people said you need to be a Christian. And I started to go to Senior High and MVPC. And soon I find out, my 2-year experience with God, I find out that if you care and love and share, be open to people around you, you will find a group of people, a community that truly loves you and will help you and have you back for the rest of your life.
I would say surround yourself constantly with Christ-centered, Christ-loving people, whether it's here at MVPC or whether it's in school or whether it's like in sports or whatever. Just make sure that you find a community where you can actively pursue Christ together comfortably. I know that even though I'll be going off to college soon and I'll be meeting new people and some of my friends in high school, I might not be able to communicate with them as well because we have completely different lifestyles. I know that I can always look back to my friends who are also Christians and who also actively pursue Christ, and I can still talk to them and we can still talk about the same things, and it would just be it would still be really comfortable with them, and I just think that it's so important. And right now, here at MVPC, you have a great opportunity to really bond with those around you, but if you haven't found those people, maybe it's in school or whatever, keep on looking for them and keep on searching for them, because those people are the people that you will stick to for a lifetime, and that's really important.
I just want to tell you guys that God loves you. Even you will go through some terrible and hard things through your life, and you always doubt, but just try to keep strong. Just remember that He does love you.
I just want to say how important it is to have faith-based community that you can and adults and peers who you can really open up to, because there are so many weeks when I come to like senior high and thinking it was just an average week, but once I started talking, like realizing all the ways, like good and bad, that like God is working in my life, and just having the opportunity to share really helps you like find meaning in your life and figure out what God's doing. So.
Hey guys, I'm Danny, and I just want to say, like, no matter what, just keep your faith strong in God, because life throws you pretty like tough stuff sometimes, and even if you don't believe that He's there, your faith will get you through that, and He's always there for you.
Something that I've learned in my years here is that it's okay to feel lost and to feel hurt and abandoned, because that's just another way that God works through you, and everything that happens in your life, God has a plan for you. And that just knowing that He's there, making all these decisions for you, like Stephen said, good or bad, that it's okay no matter what you're feeling, because in the end, God has a plan, and that He just has plans for everyone to just give them a great future and just help them really grow through Him and in themselves.
I would just have to say that kind of what people have said before, that God's always there for you, and no matter like what's going on in your life or how you feel about your situations and your friends and your family, you should just know that He's always going to come back for you, and that He's never actually left you even when you think He has, because He's just been watching you the whole time. So just don't forget that He's always there and supporting you and always loving you.
Someone once told me that your walk with God should be personal but not private, and I think that's really rang true for me with this community at Senior High, that like having a really good group of believers that you can fall back on and gain strength with. That's where I've grown the most these last 4 years. In my walk with God is sharing it with other people, and like binding together so that you can like fall back on them, or have group prayers, and yeah, that's about it.